Hi guys. Today I thought of doing some kind of studio vlog, something really chill because I'm not feeling the best today, to be honest. I feel like I have flu symptoms, but without anything resp, so I don't have any sore throat, I'm not coughing, there's nothing going on here. But the rest, like I have chills, I have body aches, all of that to say that today is a very, very slow day. But I'd like to recap maybe what I did this weekend. Today is Monday, by the way, 2 p.m. I had a super great weekend. So Friday afternoon, I went to see 2 art galleries. I drank a couple of coffees in coffee shops and I painted in coffee shops too. I did this one, which I really like. I only used, no, that's not true. I was gonna say that I only used dry media, but no, for the sky, I did it at home and I used some watercolors and Neocolor tubes. But for these, I decided to take out my, what are they called? For these, I decided to take out my alcohol markers. These are by the brand Tango from the side. And I bought them a long time ago. I bought them when I was doing the 100 head challenge. If you want to see that video, I think it would be interesting because I think I've gone a long way since then. So I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I did one portrait, I think, using these. And then I kind of stopped using them. Well, I was experimenting a lot back in these days. I still am, but I think that now I've honed in a bit more on what mediums I prefer using. But in these days, I was like trying a little bit of everything. So I got these markers then. I decided it would be fun to bring them to a coffee shop. It would be interesting to use them to create backgrounds and different textures. So that's what I did. And I really like this drawing. The only thing is that they bleed on the other side of the paper. But I think it's going to be okay because how I've been working these days, you might know already, is that not always, but sometimes I am going to put all of my leftover watercolors in my palette on a page to kind of prep that page. And later I'm going to paint or draw something on top. So it kind of creates all these nice textures in the background, which I've been enjoying so much. So I think that's probably what's going to happen with this. I might put a bit more paint on top and like create a background that I can use in the future. So that's what I did then. It's based on a picture I took in Curacao. So I'm going to put it on the screen. You can compare the two. Yeah, so that's what we did on Friday. On Saturday, we went to the Montreal Fine Arts Museum. It was so much fun. Then we went to another gallery, and in between, well, before the museum and after the second gallery, we also went to a coffee shop, and that's where I drew this one, which is also based on a picture I took in Curacao. So I'll show it to you. In fact, it's a picture of a parking lot. So the water that you see is in fact a parking lot, but I decided that it would be way more interesting if it was a big lake, and I added some boats to create this little image there, and I like it so much. I used my Neocolor tools, I used some watercolor pencils, and I used these pencils that I got not too long ago that were given to me. China markers and overhead projection markers, which I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they are water soluble, so it's very fun. So that's what I used. On Friday, I also finished another drawing that I had started a couple of days or weeks ago, which is another drawing that I did based on a picture that I took in Curacao. I've been very inspired by these pictures. I think that means I should travel more. But what I like to do is I take the same picture and I draw it in a different way. This is like some rock formations by the side of the beach. And I really focus on the rocks and I try to simplify the shapes and focus on textures. So that's what I did. I really like it. And it's the same picture as this drawing, but you'll see it's a very different style. So these are the same rock formations. Sorry if the lighting and the color keeps changing. It's the sun. So that's it. That's what I did. Oh, and yesterday, Sunday, we went on a hike. We hiked almost 15 kilometers, which is a lot. And maybe that's why I don't feel too good today. That's what I did this weekend. And I thought that today I could take it very easy. So I thought that I could do something that I haven't done in a long time, which is to take a skillshare class. It's something that I really enjoyed doing back in the days. And I wish I had more time to do more because there's so many classes that look super interesting. So I thought that I could do one to practice with acrylics because this is a medium that I don't use much and I would love to get better at it. First, I think I'm gonna go take a nap because I can't anymore. Today is the next day and I don't really know how I looked in the last clip I filmed that you saw me face to face. I felt so bad. I don't know what I had yesterday. I felt like I was really sick. And now today I'm feeling fine. I don't know. Good for me, I guess. So yesterday I started one Skillshare class and I'm gonna finish it today. It's using acrylics and I feel like I don't like acrylics. I'm not sure. I think in fact is maybe the texture, the consistency that I don't like. This one is heavy body. I don't think I like heavy body acrylics. All of my good quality acrylics are heavy body. But also another thing I don't like is like these kinds of tubes, they don't close well. And so the acrylic all dries in the cap there and after that it's super hard to use. If I'm lucky, I can just unscrew it and put a bit on my palette, but sometimes it's dry. I feel like some of my acrylics are a bit thicker than they should be because they're a bit dry. I always struggle with the texture. It clumps on my brush, and even if there's a lot of paint on my brush, it kind of feels like dry brushing, you know, that texture. So that's why I struggle with it. I see all of these beautiful acrylic paintings that look almost like oils and I'm amazed by them and I don't get how they do it. Is it because they use retardant or... That's what I've been using. So I have my golden retarder. I feel like it makes the paint a bit more fluid, and it doesn't dry as fast, which is another one of my struggles. The thing with acrylics for me is that sometimes I know I won't finish a painting in one sitting, and then I end up with a bunch of paint on my palette that I don't know what to do with, and it's frustrating to me because it's just gonna dry. But I wanted to come on here to let you know that I myself made a Skillshare class about a year ago. It's about how I create these abstract paintings. I'm going to show you some examples. So it goes through all of the steps, all of the different color exploration, texture explorations, and then together at the end we create an abstract painting. Maybe you saw my series in which I created some huge abstract watercolor paintings. I was using cling wrap and acrylic inks and salt to create all these textures on my paintings. So that's what we do in this Skillshare class. If you want to follow it, it would make me so happy. I'm going to put a link in the description below. If you don't have Skillshare, you can click on that link and have a free month. And after that, if you decide to register for a year, then I'll get some money. And other than that, you can just cancel the subscription after a month. So you can do my class, but you can do a bunch of other classes as well during that month. And yeah, at the end, you just unsubscribe if you don't want to. So please go check it out. If you're interested, I would be so happy to have you try out my class. I've been thinking about doing another one because it was a fun process. It takes a lot of time to write and film, so that's why I haven't done another one, but I would like to do maybe one a year. So I'll try to work on that, and if you have some ideas of stuff you'd like to see on there, let me know. But otherwise, you can go check out my class. Okay, so we're going to continue our landscape painting, and I'll see you after. Okay, so I finished my little painting. I like it so much. It's so cute. And I would say the thing that I learned the most is not how to paint loose, because I think that I've been getting better and better at this over time. It's more how to use a limited color palette. For this one, I used 5 colors plus black and white. So I had some unbleached titanium, which looks like a buff titanium. I had some yellow ochre. I had red oxide, phthalo green, and cerulean blue here, plus black and white. And I would say that I really enjoyed this palette. I think maybe I could have done without this one, but yeah, it's one of my first times using black. Usually I never use black. In this one I did, but not in its pure form. So I used it to create some midtones, some darker tones. So it's never truly black. And now I realized how useful black is. And with this palette, I feel like all my colors are really cohesive, and it's possible to create a pop of color here and there. So it's a limited color palette, but I really didn't find it too limiting. I found that I could create a bunch of different mixes. After my painting was done, I had a bunch of paint left on my palette. So I kind of just put it on a page and created a weird abstract painting that I really do not like, but at least I didn't waste any paint. Maybe when it's dry, I'm gonna try to add some stuff on top and see how it goes. Use it as a test page. But yeah. You know what? I think that's gonna be it for today. I really needed a chill painting session and I wasn't feeling too great. So I think that in these times, whenever you want to paint but you don't have the energy to think about a concept or do something really precious, I find that going on Skillshare and just trying a bunch of classes is really helpful because, I don't know, it takes away the pressure of making something perfect. You can just experiment, there's no pressure at all, and you can just have fun. And if you're lucky, you may discover new techniques or find some new inspirations that you can then apply in your own art. But if not, you just have some fun, you just paint or draw, and after that you feel better for sure. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching my video, and if you want, please check out my Skillshare class all about abstract watercolor paintings. Anyway, so thank you for watching and I will see you soon. Bye!